Listen, we like cruising as much as anyone else, but there's something about that feeling when you finally get home. You open the front door, you lay your bags down, and you take that sigh of relief. Your cruise vacation is over. The long drive for us, 8 hours, is over. Home, sweet home. Amanda and I are back from our Carnival Vista March the 19th 7-day cruise. And on today's show, we're going to share the good, the bad, and the ugly with you. I also want to share a special moment from Carnival, something that I've never experienced before. It doesn't have anything to do with me. I thought it was very touching, though, for this family, and I have to share it with you. Let's talk about our cruise right now on Island Time. A big, happy Sunday, Islanders. We're back home. I got to sleep in my own bed last night. That's always nice, and I am excited for today's show. Welcome back to Island Time. I am your host, Derek, and I'm excited to sit in front of you today and share the good, the bad, and the ugly of the cruise. Keep it short. I'm going to, I promise. But I'm even more excited about tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Island Time Live. You are invited. I don't know what you're doing between now and 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, but get it done and relax with us tonight as we answer questions. We give even a more in-depth review of our cruise than we're going to give today, and we have some fun before that dadgum work week starts back again. 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Make sure you're subscribed. Ring that bell for notifications so that you'll be notified when we go live. Here we go. Let's talk about this cruise in review. I have the good and the bad and the ugly. I want to remind you, though, this is a subjective list. This is a list that I've come up with. A cruiser that was on the exact same cruise may have a different list, may rank these out of order, may think, hey, that you're wrong about that. I just want to share with you, it is subjective. Let's start with the good first. And I'll just say this. Most of the trip was good. It was very good. We enjoyed it. We really did. We brought our boys. We will have more on families and cruising with families and what it's like. We'll have a lot of content later this week. Here we go. Number one, crew members are taking better care of us than ever before. Crew members just seem generally in a great mood post-COVID. And now we're getting to kind of the second set. We noticed on board the Carnival Vista that a lot of the crew members were new. They just had a big turnover from the original crew members that boarded in May to get ready for the cruise restart. Matter of fact, I spoke with the captain on the Carnival Vista, and he said there's less than a dozen crew members left who were there from the restart, which they got on in late May. Those crew members that have been there for 10 months. 10 months, but most of them are already gone. The crew were phenomenal, from the dining room staff to the bar staff on deck. I don't know how many times I would see someone place an order on Lido deck, or maybe they needed ketchup as their side, and crew members are literally jogging, briskly walking, running to go get what this cruiser needed. And it's just, the service has been and always will be unbelievable, but it just really seems like you can tell these crew members are ready to be back. They're excited to be back. We had great service and awesome entertainment. The live entertainment was unbelievable. And I spoke to some of those live entertainers, and they reference the 1.5 or 2 years of shutdown when they could not play in front of people. And so it's still that extra special feeling to be able to do this, and you can tell. Number two, families have some flexibility when cruising. We did not have flexibility when we booked the cruise, but there is some flexibility now. If you want your child over the age of 5 to be vaccinated, they can be. They can participate in kids clubs now. If you don't want them to be vaccinated, they can still cruise with exemptions. If they're under the age of 5, they can cruise with no exemption. It's okay to cruise. And before, just a month before, you had bubble excursions for Royal Caribbean and for Carnival. Royal has completely taken that out of the question. You can now cruise however you want to cruise. You can get off the port and explore on your own. Carnival makes you book at least a Carnival excursion to get off, but it does not have to be a bubble tour. There's flexibility for families. Locals, the locals were awesome, number 3. The locals were awesome and so excited to have us there. You could tell still that new warmth, that puppy love is still there from the cruise shutdown. They were welcoming. Our excursions were awesome. Our ports were Mahogany Bay, Belize, and Cozumel. We will talk about our excursions. We got off the ship at every one of them. We did a paid excursion at every one of them. We will share that in tonight's live show. The ships are in great shape. They really are. Number 4, ships are in great shape. Beautiful. The paint looks good. Of course, we were on the Vista, but we saw the Dream and we saw the Paradise and we saw Royal ships. The ships have been maintained and they're being cleaned like crazy. They were before COVID, but now it's just insane to see the level and depth of cleaning that they go through. And all things are coming back to normal really soon. Look at this picture right here. Look at this. Diamond and platinum. That's right. That is in Galveston. They had a diamond and platinum, a little bit of special service once you got through security and check-in, and you had to verify your passport info and add gift cards if you wanted to. There was a diamond platinum line. You're starting to see things get back to normal. And for you cruisers who have loyalty to Carnival and Royal Caribbean, you're starting to see these cruise lines start to say, okay, we can now give you back some of your benefits and your perks of your loyalty. I expect things to keep going that way very, very soon, but it was nice to see this. A special line for platinum and diamond guests in Galveston when we cruised. I've cruised 5 times in 6 months, and this wasn't there, okay, until this past cruise. The bad, here we go, the bad. The food is a little bit off. I think a lot of us know this. The food is just a little bit off since the cruise restart. It may be training issues. It may be supply chain issues. Maybe it's different. They're getting some of their food from different places, but the food is a little bit off. I've thought that every cruise, but we're not big foodies. We can most of the time find something that's good for us to eat, whether it's the buffet or it's the deli or pizza or whatever it is. But it's something that is evident, I think, to me. Not a big deal to me, but it is evident. Is it evident to you? I know a lot of you have cruised. What do you think about food? Do you think it's the same as it was before COVID, or do you think something is lacking a little bit? Let us know in the comment section below, because I know a lot of people travel and cruise for food. A lot of times they ask me, and I'm not the best person to ask, because it's just not a big, it's not the big why of why I cruise. Let us know though in the comment section below. Another bad, we knew we were getting here, but we are here. Capacity is back. There is not much buildup left to do because it is back. Carnival, for instance, is selling at well over 90%. We were at 94, 95% capacity. You could tell, okay? Royal even is in the 80s most of the time, 80+% capacity, and that will only grow unless something happens, a new variant or something comes out, and maybe the numbers are pulled back. But capacity is here. We're at 94% on March the 19th. And I say that I enjoy a full ship. I enjoy people watching, but I put this in the bad category because it seemed like the crew wasn't ready yet to handle 4,100 guests. You could tell. Food would be out on the buffet, or guys, burger, maybe you're sitting there for 10 minutes because there's not burgers cooked. No lie. So nothing big at all. I just wanted to point this out, that the crew are working. They are, and a lot of it's behind the scenes. It's people in the kitchens cooking, keeping up, timing, knowing that, hey, I need to make an extra batch of this every 4 or 5 minutes, instead of what used to be maybe every 10 minutes because capacity was lower. But capacity is here to stay. But behind the scenes operations, they will be corrected and everything will be back to normal very soon. But I had to put it in the bad category. And then I had just one small issue with Onboard Credit, and the ship team there blamed the land-based Carnival team. I did a shore excursion guarantee through Carnival. I booked an excursion through Carnival, found a cheaper price somewhere else, filled out the form, got $150 back on Onboard Credit because they granted that price protection guarantee. And the Onboard Credit was never there. It was never on my account. I had to go a couple of times. I had the email, thank goodness, on my phone, and was able to show that to them, and eventually it was granted. But my shareholder Onboard Credit, my $100 Onboard Credit for owning Carnival stock, was not there as well. And the ship-based team said, we're just short-staffed on the land-based side. And so they're sending out email confirmations that, hey, you get this, but it just doesn't post to your account in time for your cruise. So if you're cruising soon, be sure you're looking at what you expect as your onboard credit and see what's posted, because it may or may not be the same. Finally, the ugly. There's not much ugly on a cruise ship. We all know that, but the disembarkation process yesterday was rough. The rumor was that there was only one pilot boat available in Galveston. The Carnival Dream was also in port. The rumor is they brought in the Dream first. The Vista did not come in until later. We were one of the first ones to get off the ship. We did not get off the ship till after 10:30 yesterday morning. Again, we drove, so it's not a big deal to us. It just delayed our trip back home. But I mention this because be careful when you book your flights. Don't always guarantee that you're going to be back in port at 7:30 or 8 a.m. In Galveston, you have fog to deal with, but you also have issues like this. One pilot boat was available in the port. So just think about those things as you book your flights, as you think about your day back home. I think I'm going to stop and visit Aunt Betty, okay? And all of a sudden, your 8-hour trip turns into a 12-hour trip that doesn't start until 10:30, 11 a.m. So not much ugly there, but it is what it is. So I wanted to share it with you, and I have to share this story with you. This is for Ethan. I was sitting on my balcony on Friday, and it was the last sea day, and the door is open, and I hear this announcement, and it's in our cabin. So it's the main speaker. It's the usually it's reserved for big announcements, and this was big. We heard an announcement, this is for Ethan, and it hung up. And I thought at first, oh my gosh, Amanda and I looked at each other. We thought that the system had been hacked. I'd never heard anything like that before. This is for Ethan? That's the announcement? But then I heard the horn blow. A loud, glaring blow midday on sea day. And after searching around and saying, hey, what was that? I've been on cruises before. I don't know what's going on. We found out what exactly was going on, and it's a neat story. The ship's horn blasted long and loud, and it was for Ethan, a 12-year-old child who had passed away from cancer on March the 25th, 2021. His parents were on board, and they had a special ceremony for Ethan. And to honor Ethan, Carnival made that announcement, this is for Ethan. They declared that, and they let that ship's horn sound loud. And that was an amazing moment. When Ethan was first told by doctors that he had cancer at the age of 12, he had to wipe away his tears. And he said, I'm going to do what I can to fight this. After 5 months of chemotherapy, Ethan's battle of this cancer ended. His parents, Brian and Angie, were on board. It looks like they had a great cruise, but it was awesome for Carnival to honor Ethan in this way, and I wanted to share that. Have you seen anything like that before? If so, let me know. I think that's touching. And to Brian and Angie, I hope the peace that passes all understanding is still with you. Ethan's memory lives on, and it was a great tribute to see and be a part of on last week's cruise. Islanders, we'll see you tonight, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time, as we continue this conversation and we answer questions and enjoy some company together. We'll see you later today right here on Island Time.